Hi everyone, here we are going to see about these small enterprises and enterprises launching formalities. So in this presentation we are going to see about the Unit 3 continuation. So here we are going to see small enterprises, what is small enterprises, what are the objectives and what are the scopes are occurred. Then we are going to see about how the registration procedures are going to take place in this enterprises. Let me see one by one. So small scale, it means that sometimes called as a small business. The small scale enterprise is a business that will employ the small number of workers and having the high volume of sales. Such enterprises are generally privately owned and operated in the sole proprietorships, corporations or partnerships. The legal definitions of a small scale enterprises will vary by industry and country. So defining the small scale industry, it is a difficult task because the definition of the small scale industry varies from country to country and from one time to another time. So this will be depend upon the pattern and stage of development. So the government policy and administrative setup will be particular for the countries. Next is the rationale of small scale industries. So the first thing is that fiscal commission, that is Government of India in New Delhi in 1950, for the first time they have defined the small scale industry. So it is operated in the labor, that is 10 to 50 hands of persons or work together. So they will make a policy as a initiatives in 1999 to 2000. So this will be defined unit as a manufacturing, repairing, processing and preservation of goods. So that will be make the original cost and it will not exceed the rupees 100 lakhs. So for small scale industries, the planning commissions of India will be used as village and small scale industries. So this will be included in the modern small scale industry and the traditional cottage and household industries. So rationale of small scale industries. So US Small Business Administration will states that small enterprises will have a fewer employees. So within a 12 months period, they will have in the non-manufacturing industries. Most of the company will consider that is any individual will pay the payroll to the employee. So in Australia, small scale enterprises is one that has a fewer employees that will pay the Fair Work Act. So they have in the likewise this act will provides the Europe state as a small enterprise and there they have 250 employees or less. So most of the countries have generally have 100 or fewer employees, while small scale African enterprises hire 50 or fewer workers. So this will be leads to the rationale of small scale industries. Next, objectives of small scale industries. So the small scale sectors can stimulate economic activity and it is entrusted with responsibility of the following objectives. So it will create more employment opportunities with less investment to remove the economic backwardness of rural and less developed regions. It will reduce the regional imbalance, mobilize and ensure the optimum utilization of unexploited resources of the country, to improve the standard of living people and will ensure the distribution of income and wealth. It will solve the unemployment problems. It will attain the self-reliance and also adopt the latest technology that will aim at producing the better quality of products at lower costs. Scope of small scale industries. So the scope for the entrepreneurial activities are in small business sectors that will be broadly classified into industrial sector, agricultural and allied industrial sector and service industrial sectors. So service sectors, let me see one by one. So the first thing will be industrial sectors. So that is the small scale industries will occupy the important place in the industrial sectors. So this sector will provide the wider scope for the potential entrepreneur to develop his or her own industry. So there is a good scope and enormous potential which will use the technology based products in a small scale sectors. So on the as an entrepreneur we can exploit profitable ventures in any of the industries which will be reserved for exclusive department under the small scale sectors. Next is the agricultural and allied industrial sectors. So there is a vast scope for entrepreneurial activities in the agricultural sectors. By establishing the link between agriculture and the allied industries, the rural entrepreneur can exploit the opportunities in areas of farming, agricultural processing and marketing. So the government has given a priority to IRDP program and ensured adequate flow of credit to small and marginal farmers through refinancing facilities. And they have been established the National Bank for Agriculture and Small Development. So the trading takes place in wholesaling and retailing. So it may be in the domestic or overseas market. So the retailer entrepreneur will make the goods which should be available at the time, and they will design a single line store, that is a shop, departmental store, etc. for their overseas markets in the wholesale. Next is the service sector. So service sector means that is giving the importance for entrepreneurs because of the rapid expansion. So the service sectors will include all kind of business and they have provide opportunities to the entrepreneurs in the business such as hotels, tourist services, personal services such as dry cleaning, beauty shops, photographic studies, auto repair, electric repair shops, welding repair, etc. So transport, they have provided time and place utilities in the urban and rural areas for both the men and materials. So the different modes or transport are of immense importance in the areas, so which will not be served as by roadways and railways. So there are more scope for the entrepreneurs to design the prototypes of new cars. So they have the application of indigenous technology which will have a better mobility and a greater carrying capacity. So this rural area is an efficient system of road transport. So we have a good opportunity for the entrepreneur to develop some business that they can exploit the possibilities for venture in some shops or services. Next, role of SME in the economic development of India. So the small scale industry sectors will play a vital role in the growth of the country. So they will contribute most of the 40% of gross industrial values. So it has millions of investments in the fixed assets. That is, the small scale sectors will produce 4.62 million worth of goods or services. So the small scale industries has grown rapidly over the years, and they will have various plans during the impressives. So employment means that is the SSI sectors in India will create the largest employment opportunities for the Indian populace. That is next only to the agriculture. It has been estimated that 1 lakh rupees of investment in fixed assets in the small scale sectors will generate the 4%. So export means that is a SSI sector will plays a major role in India's present export performance. So this export is contributed by SSI sectors, and they will have the direct exports from SSI sector account for nearly 35% of total exports. Next, export. So besides the direct exports, it is estimated that small scale industrial units will contribute about 15% of exports. So they will have also the form of export orders from the large units or the production of parts and the components for use of finished exportable goods. So opportunities are that is less capital intensive, extensive promotion and support by government, reservation and for exclusive manufacture by small scale sectors, project profiles, funding, finance and subsidies, machinery procurement, raw material procurement and manpower trainings. Next, the opportunities in the small scale sectors, which is enormous, to the following factors are technical and managerial skills, tooling and testing support, reservation for the exclusive work purchased by government, export promotions, growth in the demand in a domestic market size due to the overall economic growth, and increasing the export potential for Indian products. Next, SME registrations. So there are two stages of registration. One is the provincial and another one is permanent. So if the enterprises have been provincial registration, means it is having the pre-investment stage. So they have to enterprise can apply for the permanent registration by launching the production facilities. So we have an enterprise that is already functioning that need to be have a apply for a provincial registrations. So the enterprise will fall under the three categories. One is micro, small and medium. So which are categorized in two types of industries. One is service industry and another one is manufacturing industries. So the main purpose of the registration is to maintain the statistics levels of the support of services. So we have adopted the uniform registration procedures and that will have the some modification done by the states. So the states can use the same registration scheme for implementing their own policies. That is called the state registration scheme. Next, objectives. So they are summarized as follows. That is to enumerate and maintain the role of small industries to which the package of incentives and supports are targeted. It also provides the certificate which have enabled the units to avail statutory benefits that is in the terms of protection. It also serves the purpose of collection of statistics. It will create the nodal centers at the center, state and district levels to promote the exercise. And the procedures are, first thing, we have a unit that can be applied for PRC, that is for registration, and any items can require an industrial license, which is items listed in the schedule 3 and not listed in schedule 1 or schedule 2. So units employing less than 50 by 100 workers without the manpower can apply for the registrations. Next is the features are the unit will apply for PRC in the prescribed application form. There will be no field inquiries done. It has a valid for 5 years. Then the entrepreneurs will say enable us to set up the unit within a period. Next, the unit will commence the productions and it will be applied for the permanent registrations on prescribed form. After evaluating the basis, the unit will have necessary clearances, whether statutory or administrative. And for example, drug license under the drug control orders, NOC from the Pollution Control Board, which are all required. So the unit will not violate any locational restrictions in force at the time of evaluation. So the value of the plant and machinery is prescribed limits. So unit is not owned, that will be controlled or subsidiary for other industrial undertaking as per the notifications. Next, NOC from the Pollution Board. So what are the functions occurs in the board means, first we have to issue the no objection certificate for environmental pollution that will view including the adequacy of the sites. Second, the issue of the consent under the provisions of section 25/26 of Water Act 1974. Third will be the issue of consent under the provisions of section 21 for the Air Act 1981. And fourth will be the assessment and collection of water cess act, that is 1977. And the fifth will be the identification and assessment of industrial and municipal pollution sources. Sixth, seventh will be assessment of ambient air quality. Eighth will be assessment of quality of inland surface waters. Ninth will be mass awareness program. 10th is the notification of emission standards, and 11th will be the development of pollution control technologies. Next, the functions are, it will institute the legal actions against the defaulters, issues authorization, identification of the isolated storages on site, crisis management plans, and also implement the biomedical waste rules, that is in the year of 1998. Thank you.